What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How you
Hello, my
doing tonight,
darlings.
gang?
What's up?
Welcome, welcome.
Nice. Yeah, we got the usual crew tonight. We got Monster. How you going, man? How's it going, man?
Not bad about yourself, guys.
Good, man. How you doing, G3?
I'm awesome, as always.
Very cool. And a special guest. If you've listened to the show, you have heard him before. He is Joint Custody, Seed Co., also known as Trichome God. I like that. Where'd you come up with
What's
that
up,
one, man?
guys?
Thanks so much
Welcome
for
to the
coming
show,
on.
dude. Yeah, hell yeah.
Thanks for having me back. This is like the fourth time? Fourth episode?
Indeed.
VIP.
I think you were our first guest, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I remember you guys telling me that.
Cool, man. Cool. Also, were the first photo periods that I ever grew, or I should say the Admiral ever grew. So, man, you're popping all sorts of cherries around here, you know? Just good guy, man. Good guy. I appreciate you coming back on. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. For sure. So I don't know if y'all can see this fresh lid I got right here.
Oh boy.
It took me a second to realize he was wearing it.
Just
Yeah, I
repping
didn't either.
just repping my brand, you know? You know what I'm saying? I got
Okay, so the Cap. Did they send it to you? Did you acquire it yourself? Did you pay money for it, or did you acquire it through other means?
I will plead the fifth on this this interrogation.
Inquiring
This
knew it.
minds
interrogation
wanna know.
is uncalled for, and I plead the fifth. No, so I got it from Monster. He brought me the whole lineup, man. Look at this. Look at this. Look at
Fancy.
this setup I got here. We got
Okay, how
beautiful
many different
assortment of nutrients.
How
There's a
many
lot of
different
duplicates
ways
there.
did you do it before you
That
decided
looks
on
like a
that?
headache, bro.
Was that your first setup?
I'm like Vanna White. right here.
Yeah.
We have our Athena. Very nice. There's only let's see, there's one. All right, well, there's 3 duplicates now that I'm looking at it. So really there's what, 9 bottles total? 8, 9, and then this little one stack.
You're
You have
making them
a-
look way more complicated than they actually are.
Yeah, that was by design.
Yes, of course it is.
Sure.
No, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm
This
just
is
repping my
biased.
brand, man. I'm just straight repping my brand, yo. I'm like, this is the cleanest, easiest nutrients money can buy, y'all. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm excited to use it. Like I am. Monster brought it to me. You know, I appreciate his generosity, and I am honestly not joking. Like I am going to use the stuff, and what I plan on doing with it is pheno hunting in small containers. You know, like I think that is the application that I can justify. Like doing a bunch of seeds in a tent, like in small containers in living soil, just ain't gonna work.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
all
if you're gonna
bullshit
run
aside.
salts, run Athena.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
I
have
wish I
no
could have put the
complaints
Pro
about
line
them.
in your hands, because I think you are going to get a headache mixing all those bottles. And that's coming from somebody who uses Athena.
Yeah.
I
But
think it's so easy. Get yourself a syringe. It is not a big deal. Get a syringe. You label each syringe with the name of the bottle. You put Velcro on the side of the syringe. You stick it to the bottle.
in all
And then you
reality,
always
you're
use the
actually
same
only going to be
syringe.
using 3 of those bottles at a time. You're going to be using the Grow A and the Grow B and the CalMag, and then the Bloom A, Bloom B, CalMag, and maybe a PK boost if you so choose.
Well, that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to definitely get one of those like syringes. I already have my Apera pH pen. So, I mean, I'm like it's me kind of expanding my growing repertoire, as it were, a little bit. I've never tried this in salts, and I've never mixed up like a batch of nutrients like this. So it's going to be a learning process, and I'm actually really excited for it.
Man,
Cool.
Brack is
So,
gonna
But
be all over you tomorrow. These mutes.
wait, who is? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. Who'd you say?
Brack, he's gonna be all over you tomorrow with his
Oh, I
memes.
know, I know, I know, I know, I know. Um, you know, again, there is an application for it. I'm not giving up on the organics. Like I have a whole attic full of organic growing stuff too. Like, and most of what I'm going to be doing is going to be organic, but I'm tinkering with this. Going to see what happens. But
Do you
that's
feel
what
some
I want to.
do you feel some level of responsibility to like know how to grow with synthetics because to
I
call
do.
yourself a grower, like to know everything there is to know about this plant and how it behaves in X, Y, and Z environment with X, Y, and Z newts and do you
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like you're like checking things off a list?
100%. Yes, yes. And people might think that's foolish or wasting time. I don't. Um, I get a lot of questions from people who grow with synthetic nutrients, and a lot of times I just kind of like give them the old like, "Hey man, I've never done it before. I can't really help you," and I wish that weren't the case. I feel like having the real world experience with it is gonna just make me a better grower. I'm growing as a grower, guys. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you
So
fully.
it's gonna be cool. Very cool. Um,
Nothing wrong with
but
that,
yeah,
bro.
I'll just be following that program, dog. Like so easy, man. They lay it right out there for you, and you see their latest like IPM post about they have some like IPM solution. I think you use it, Monster. Is
yeah,
it?
it's a good
It's pretty
product.
good.
Yeah.
So they were trying, I'm sure it is very effective. Now, like the application they were discussing using it for was getting rid of fungus gnats.
Hmm.
And like, I can tell you from real world experience, like any IPM you're using, like for anything else, if you want to get rid of fungus gnats, you usually have to double or triple the application rate. They're just a fucking like a hardy insect. And they kind of refuse to die after you drop a nuke sometimes.
I don't know. I've had no trouble getting rid of them with anything really. If you just spray 3 days in a row, they're gone. Like 3 days in a row, heavily gone. You just got to break their life cycle.
Well, the
Um,
the larvae
but
take 2 weeks to turn from egg into adults.
Yeah.
So three
yeah, but
weeks
you'll kill the
is
eggs with 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 a good spray.
mm, I
Is
question
it
that.
in the
I do
soil? How do you
question.
spray in the soil?
You could do a
The
root
eggs are
drench. The best
yeah.
thing I found, honestly, for use organic growers is diatomaceous earth right on the top of the soil. Just don't get it wet. That
Yeah, that
that should,
stuff is
That's what I use.
savage.
yeah, like because
I,
it cuts them right up to fucking nothing.
Mhm.
yep.
It does. It does. What I was listening to Dude Grows, right? And Guru talks about diatomaceous earth, and he tries to like scale it up, and he'll be like, "Yo, in a human scale, if you were to walk around a field of diatomaceous earth, it would be like the most brutal, awful thing you could imagine, and like the way you're killing these insects is it's just inhumane, really. But hey,
Savage. It
you
really
got to
is
do what you got to
brutal.
do. You got to do
Fuck,
it.
fuck with my plants. You gotta
Fuck
get the
'em.
I
fucking
know.
fuck them
I
is right.
know.
Mhm.
But so I think they were their IPM, like standard operating procedures for getting rid of fungus gnats, did seem a little crazy to me. A little
Yeah.
crazy.
What did they suggest?
It
So how does it work?
So let's see. Let's just ask Mad Hatter in the background there if he might be able to bring up one of Athena's latest Instagram posts for us, please. But so it is their standard like IPM bottle, that Monster has, the orange label. And I think it calls for a root drench twice a week, followed by foliar spray twice a week. But the thing is with the root drench that it's like double or triple the normal application rate. And I don't even think you are supposed to use that IPM as a root drench
No, you
typically.
can. There's directions on the
Is
bottle
it?
for root drench. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, but so
Is this supposed to be
they
used proactively or reactively?
Either or.
it could be both. Yeah, both.
That's a lot
Now-
of work. Proactively.
The only
but-
issue I found with that product is it smells like perfume, and your wife's gonna think you're cheating on you. It's like the
well,
gnats.
so
no, it's the it's like the I don't know, it's like a flower oil. I forget.
it's the oils in it. Yes, that's
Yeah.
the actual like,
Geranium oil.
mechanism of action.
the
Correct.
the geranium oil. So there's geranium oil. I think it's lemongrass oil, peppermint oil, and citric acid.
Correct. Now, if in the comments, I know there's a very wise insect specialist out there. His name is Sink Angel. He's on like the Growing with My Fellow Growers podcast. He also goes by the name of Matthew Gates. And he's in the comments, asking like, what's the mode of action? Someone answers geranium oil. Like you said, it, smells like a Puerto Rican hooker, and it might get you in trouble. But
Red.
he also comments that these oils are often like they can suffocate roots if left in the medium too long. So if you notice what Athena calls for, their standard operating procedures, is a flush with just water, okay, followed by the root drench, followed by a flush with nutrients, like whatever stage of growth you're in. You mix up a batch from your 9 bottles, and
3 bottles.
no, I just think it is a little cumbersome and unnecessary to deal with the issue of fungus gnats. It may work 100%. I am not doubting that. I just think that there are easier ways to deal with a common pest.
Kind of scares me that like if I flushed incorrectly or find some brilliant unheard of way to screw it up, which I am well apt to do, like I would hurt my plant if I did that. So
I don't know.
anything
I
that's
don't
going
know.
to hurt my plant at all, that like gives me serious pause.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really had the issue with fungus gnats. I've helped people with them. Don't really deal with them in cocoa. So
I have them all the time. Stonington. It's great
Yeah,
soil,
yeah.
but you get fungus gnats with it.
really, yeah.
Mhm.
Have you
Sure do.
tried butt chugging? And keeping the
Well,
top
I
oil
have
dry?
them on the I would have them in the autopots now, so hopefully that
Okay.
will take care of it. But
I
I
think
usually
that'll-
take whatever soil I'm going to use, and I get like the mosquito bits
Mm.
that Cap
You guys
used
are lucky.
before,
That product,
and I just
was
like
out for a while.
drench it.
They went out of business. They stopped making it for a while. I think somebody bought.
Mosquito
You-
bits?
Yeah, there was a time and
Oh.
place
Huh.
not that long ago that it was hard to find. It was for a
Hmm.
short amount of time.
Okay. I just
That's a
treat the
great-
Stonington directly.
Yeah, that's a great
proud
product.
to
It
have
really
it.
is.
Yeah, it is.
It's
I
been
really like
around
it.
for a
It is.
long fucking time.
When you get it listen, I got 3 bags of it this weekend. I drove to 4 different garden centers to find this shit. And listen, I know I told you where to find it, G3, but like I was trying to find it somewhere closer. I was told that it was there. I was told that I would find my preferred soil in stock here, and it
You
is
have
not
my
in stock.
soil.
No, so
Was that a Milton
they didn't
impression?
have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
burn
yeah,
this place to the
absolutely, dude.
ground.
Absolutely. So they didn't have my soil, and I went to this place where I recommended you go, G3, and I got
Mhm.
3 bags of the stuff. Opened it up, and it smelled like rotten eggs, like disgusting. It was all
Sulfur.
waterlogged, and like, yeah, it was an anaerobic bacteria must have
Hmm.
developed in that bag, and it just stunk, and it was like unusable. So I had to dump it out into a bin, put some perlite and rice hulls in it, kind of like let it dry out, really, is for a couple days. It'll
It's
still be
gonna be
fine
okay.
to
It'll be
use. Yeah, yeah,
easy.
yeah.
It'll be usable. I was gonna say I'll bring you some bags on Saturday.
It's usable, just not immediately. Like
What's
when,
going on Saturday? You guys got a date?
Yep.
yeah, we do actually, we do.
Super hot date. I'm taking out Cap's wife.
Nice. Just make sure you take video, Cap.
I'm gonna treat her good.
All
Don't
right,
you
I
worry.
will, I will. No, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it afterwards. But no, I'm looking forward to it. So,
If
Nice.
you need soil though, let me know and I'll bring you some.
all right, I will. So,
Well, Cap,
yeah,
why don't you make your own soil, bro?
I did. I did it.
Oh,
I
you
did.
did?
That's the issue. Yeah, that's the
Good.
issue. That's
Oh,
the issue. But
good.
I'm not confident in the results. If
Really?
you look at some of my latest posts on Instagram, you will see what I'm talking about. Like the plants I'm growing in it right now are like very slow. They're not moving as quick as I'm used to seeing. And the 4 autos that I transplanted into those pots are like they don't have any side branching, man, but like they do now. It just started, really, but it's like they're on day 22, 23, and I'm used to seeing a much different like a much different shape to my plants. So it's
I didn't
freaking me
know.
out.
I didn't know that those were in a homemade soil. I saw your post.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you were
That's
making your own.
so like it's a re-amended soil. It's not like I
Now
mean, I
those
guess
those BAS
it's
kits, do you have to
homemade.
let them like cook? Like or is that a product you've used before?
Yes. And
Uh,
so there's in the craft blend, right? Like and there's instantly available nutrients and there's time release nutrients. It's mostly time release, but I add worm castings and a bunch of other stuff too. Like I just honestly I don't know what went wrong. If anything, I just really don't like I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on, really. I don't know if
Hmm.
there's some because the plants look healthy. They look good and green and happy and like the leaves are praying, but they just don't have any fucking branches, man. And they're
Yeah, that's
like
what I want.
they're runty, you know?
I don't know. I'm
So
still kind of leaning towards the CO2
I
deficiency.
think it makes a lot of
yeah,
sense.
I
Like
know.
especially up in an attic, you know.
Mhm.
I did go and hyperventilate in the attic for a good 30 minutes, and I hope
Another
that
thing you could do too if you
that
if you felt
jacked.
comfortable with it is tea light candles. You could light a couple tea light candles in there, like in a sheet pan, so nothing bad could happen. And those will put out a really way more amount of CO2 than you would imagine. But I would
Yankee
still get the
Candle's gonna
meter.
start
I
sponsoring growers.
no, just like plain tea light candles, not scented bullshit.
Mm.
But I would buy that CO2 meter for like I think it was like 40 or $50. I don't even remember. But just to have it and get a reading and send it back.
Yeah, yeah, it's that's a good idea actually. It's a great
Mhm.
idea. Um, yeah, no, I think I'll do that. Now, what I was also thinking about doing is sending a little sample of my re-amended soil in for soil testing to
That's a
see
great idea.
like what the hell is going on because yeah, it's a mystery. And now like they're growing well enough that like I can't pull the plug on them really. Like they're doing things. They're just yeah, it's just not as much. It ain't doing as many things as my plants usually do. I don't know how else
You
to
find
say
a
it.
flower.
Have you
Flowering?
grown those?
Yeah, they
Wait.
just popped a few pistils.
Oh,
Just
okay.
popped a few. So like,
I was thinking maybe if they had like a super long veg, then it would be fine and no harm, no foul. But
oh,
I guess
yeah,
we'll see
no,
what they do.
it's exactly. I wish that were the case, but exactly. We'll see what they do. I'm just gonna let them play out. But I don't know.
Have you
Trying to
grown those
grind.
strains before?
No, they're all new to me. But the fact that they're all doing the same thing tells me that it's not something genetics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's definitely something environmental or like medium related. So
Well,
what are you guys smoking on tonight? That before we forgot our most essential question before we go on.
yeah, and you forgot to ask G3 how she was doing.
Oh,
You
did I?
did? No, I said I was
Okay, well,
spectacular.
I'm too fucking high then. Forget about it.
Oh, if I did, I apologize. I meant to
You
ask
did. Don't
everybody.
worry.
No,
But-
my bad. My bad. I'm
so
an asshole.
what are we smoking? What are we smoking, guys?
Well,
Thanks,
she's
Monsta.
taking
I
it.
love you.
I love you too. What is that? That's a cool looking piece.
Yeah, this is from my bud vase. Isn't it adorable? It's my
Huh.
little mermaid fish thing.
Nice, nice. So what's
Yeah, I
in
like it.
what's in there?
Jamie Dodgers.
Classic, man. I fucking love that strain.
Mm.
She's
That's a
one
really
of my
therapy strain.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those strains that actually like could help persuade a photo grower into trying autoflowers. Like, because there's no way they could possibly tell that's an autoflower. It's just that
Mhm.
fucking good. It's so terpy. Yeah, it's a good one.
She's great. Love her.
Mm.
All
I'll
right.
have
Well,
to
what
agree
up?
with that.
All right, Monsta, what do you have?
Some pure Michigan, baby.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I really am. It's developed a nice flavor after it's dried and gets me nice and high, which I fucking need right now.
Nice.
It's curing up some too, right? Like so.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So the way I
flavor will
dry,
change.
it takes a while to get there. Like you got to do the sweat and let it burp. You know, sweat, burp, get it down to that like nice dry. Like remember when I brought it over? Like we couldn't even like break it up. It was like just too
Yeah,
too
yeah,
wet.
it was real wet.
So it's finally gotten to that stage because I like to do it slowly. If you just like let it dry out that quickly after harvest, it's just gonna turn to hay real quick and not develop that nice flavor. But I'm really enjoying it, man. It's a good smoke. What about
Cool.
you, Captain?
Cool. So I'm very happy to say that I just grinded up my
Ground up.
first
Wow.
ground up. Sorry, where's my
You're the
where's my
wordsmith, dude.
English
What the
tonight?
fuck?
I know. I good with English and things. I can do words and stuff. So this is Sacred Watch from Outcast Genetics. I know he is a listener to the show, and yeah, he was one of my like up and comer autoflower breeders that I was happy to showcase in my tent. And now I'm even happier to show you a little bit ground up. If you can see that, up. It's nice and green, fluffy.
What a great strain name, really. Sacred Watch. Spectacular.
Sacred Watch. Yeah, I
So
do
good.
like the name a lot, and it is an OG based strain, lineage wise. So it has a little funk, like, won't you take me to Funky Town?
Who sings that?
I have no
Who-
idea.
Oh, I
No
was
idea.
gonna say,
Well,
you ruined my
but-
joke. The joke is you tell me, and then I tell you, let's fucking keep it that way.
Okay. Well, you're right.
Well-
You're right. I don't need to sing the song, but it just
Nah.
hey popped in my head, man.
I'm just fucking with you,
Well,
dude. You know that.
So let's give her a toot. I can tell
All
you
right.
that she smells like funky sour apples. It has a distinct green sour apple note along with like the whatever you like to call funk. I don't know, like G3 said it was like what do you say, like a dumpster
Yeah, like a
that's been
dumpster
sitting in
full
the
of
sun too
mangoes sitting
long.
in the sun.
Yeah, this would be
Pan-
like a dumpster full of Granny Smith
Good.
apples sitting in the
Pete,
sun.
Pete Pan in the chat, grinded did. Oh, that's fucking made me laugh. What about you, Joint? What are you smoking on?
Hmm.
Packed a combo bowl, Supreme Leader and blueberry orange juice.
Damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
Oh, man.
That sounds
Oh, my
fucking
God.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
it's got
I
on
know
prime
all
rib.
of those.
Yeah.
No, wait,
It's,
before we dive in real quick, because I want to talk all about your strains, Joint. I do. But I do want to also say that this is very flavorful. Come through, the smell comes through on the taste. And I think it is safe to say that Outcast Genetics gets a stamp of approval.
Ding ding.
Outcast with a K. Outcast with a K. He does autos. So if all you guys are looking for autos, go check him out. He's got a couple really good ones. So, yeah, I got like it was one of my biggest plants too, almost 180 grams dried in 5
Nice.
gallon organic soil. So like she does well. She does well.
Was she super tall?
That was in the auto pot.
No, it wasn't in an auto pot. Actually, it was the old fashioned hand method. And
Yeah, you probably would have fucking
she
beasted with an auto.
yeah, in an auto pot, it would have been huge. Exactly. Yeah, it's a really, really nice auto, and I'm happy with it a lot. So, guys, check them out. Outcast Genetics with a K. Now, Joint. We know you are an exceptional breeder, not
is?
of the autoflower variety.
Oh, I was
He is,
wondering
man.
why we had him on here tonight.
He
Just
is.
kidding.
Absolutely.
Just kidding.
So, and you were smoking on some of your own stuff.
Yes, correct. I packed a combo bowl, 2 different strains, the Supreme Leader and then the blueberry orange juice.
Now,
The
I'm
double
familiar with
whammy.
the blueberry OJ. Tell me
Ooh.
more about the Supreme Leader.
That's the one that Captain Autoflower grew at the beginning of the year. It's the Triangle Kush Alien OG cross. And yeah, it's
No,
fire.
that was Admiral Photo Period.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
don't have any record.
Forgot
No,
about that guy.
I did grow that, man. I did. It was phenomenal, man. It was every single thing of yours that I've put in my tent was incredible. So, and I don't know where we started calling it Supreme Leader from. It was just kind of like, I think the Alien OG, and I was like, take me to your Supreme Leader sort of thing. I don't know.
And
used to have
yeah,
that
and then you
poster
on
started
my
putting
wall,
some Kim Jong
alien.
Un pictures up.
Yeah, then it was like I was fucking around with the portrait mode. That's right, on my camera on the iPhone. And it took a camera that it had that like blur to it, you know? It looked like the great leader photo that they hang in every school classroom in North Korea. So that's
was
I don't
too
know. That
funny,
was
man.
where the whole thing came from. But yeah, man. So what are you doing with those? Like what's your plan? It wasn't named when I grew it. It was just a test.
I hadn't figured out a name for it yet. I was waiting for it to come to me, but after you put that up there, it just that's what it was. It had to be Supreme Leader. Yeah,
That's fucking sick.
yeah.
Well, I'm
yeah.
honored. I'm honored. Thank you. It's really,
no
really
doubt.
cool.
Thank you.
It's really cool. Dude, I
Well,
can't wait to see like what you what your plans are with it. Tell us.
So that is actually gonna be the lineup that I drop next month. A whole, I think it's
No
like 7
shit.
strains. Yeah, the F2 and 6 other strains. The end of the month next month. So I dove back into it. I made it in 2016. I think I told you that before when you were growing it, and I had
Mhm.
never released it or given it out just to you and like a handful of other people. I was waiting to find the best parents I could, and I just hadn't found them yet, and I was busy working on other projects, and I dove back into it like right before you grew it, and I finally found the male that I was looking for because I had a female from like a year before that I had been keeping around that I had found, and yeah, so I made the lineup with it, and everything that
Hell
it's
yeah.
touched has been really really nice. So we're
Oh, dude,
excited.
I bet.
I'm excited. Yeah.
So the Supreme Leader itself is Triangle Kush crossed with Alien OG, right?
Correct. Yeah. The
Like two,
originals.
yeah, like two heavy hitter, old school West Coast strains, man. And
Yep.
yeah, the one that I grew, it was huge, man. It was huge. That's where the, supreme term in the name came from. And it had purple and green in the flowers. It was kind of like
Mhm.
spotted green, I want to say, mostly purple. And it threw these crazy purple and yellow fades at the end of the life. Super frosty. And the terps were like more on the cushy side for me.
Yeah.
So, is that when you pick the parents of like the next generation, is that phenotype something that you looked for, or did you try to get more of like the OG side, or what were you going for?
So I was going for the TK side, Triangle Kush. So you said the one you grew is really really big and was cushy, and that's from the TK side. But I went. The mother was green pheno. It barely had any purple in it at all, and she was huge too, just like yours. And I just I looked for a male that resembled that female. I really like the green phenos. Like the purple ones they're awesome. Don't get me wrong, but those green ones, man, there's just so gassy and piney and just like everything you're looking for in a Kush and an OG. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Not to interrupt you, but those slower cunts that all the Patreons got, you'll get a couple of different phenos, and the one that I really like is the green one. Um, it's not as pretty as the other two. Like one's like a lighter purple, one's a little bit darker, but the flavor on the green one is just fucking insane. It's really strong, and I like it a lot. So, yeah, I think Captain has a similar preference when it comes to his smoke. He looks for the like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I think
So.
you get a lot of bag appeal, and you get a lot of just it's aesthetically pleasing to see a nice
Right.
purple bud, a nice big purple bud. It's everyone loves to look at it. I think that when you like, at least from the purple weed I've seen, man, it is dropped down a notch or two in the terp department.
Hmm.
When you breed for that color, you take away a little bit from the terps. Like I don't know what it is, but green weed is always terpier for me.
I wouldn't
So
necessarily say that. I would agree with you that it's not as good. Like most purple weed sucks. I fucking hate it. Like I'm serious. I just like whenever tell me, oh, I got the purple, the GDP, or this, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's see it, and then you smoke it, and you're like, meh. There's been one exception for me, and I think I've talked about it before. It's Great Pupil from Mass Medical Strains. Um,
yeah,
that shit fucking That was special weed. The only reason I'll never grow it again is just because it was way too slow and veg. Like it was
Yeah.
just it was a crawler. And then when I'm like, all right, well maybe I'll get some stretch when I flip them. And I think they might have stretched like 3 inches. They just,
Yeah.
they didn't really produce well enough for me to want to run it again. But the smoke was really good. I was pleasantly surprised, and that's why I grew
Yeah.
it. I got a chance to smoke some of it, so I was impressed. I picked up some of the beans. However, I will say there is a green pheno of the grape pupil, and that was really good too. Although
Yeah.
ironically, I think I like the grape
Roll
one
one
a little bit
better.
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
just effects wise.
Well,
I don't know.
the best purple weed I ever had was Cushion OJ. But I got
Heaven has.
two phenos of that one, and there was one green and one purple.
Yeah, there was a greenish one you got, huh?
Is the
Yeah,
green one
there
better,
was
or is the purple one better?
they were different. Honestly, like the green one had a little bit more cushy terps, right? The purple one was like all orange, like oven cleaner. Like it was very orange peel, like orange oil, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of
So
a
you
smell.
had a KK leaner, the Khalifa Kush leaner with the green one. You said it was cushy, right? So
Nice.
that's
Yeah, it definitely was.
the purple one
And the
was the Putang leaner.
yeah, I was gonna say you've used
Yeah.
a couple of those mass medical purple things in your
Putang,
breeding work. Yeah, Putang is one of their like award-winning strains, and it's
yeah.
it's
It's
got a
it's
very
really good.
distinct look.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. But
That's a good one.
on the purple pheno though, it's really really orangey at harvest, but after it cures for a little bit, it mellows out and just it's really nice after that. But a lot of people don't have the patience to wait, including myself.
That was me. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
That was me. Like we were saying, like you know, when like Monsters Pure Michigan, you let it cure for even a couple weeks, and you will notice a different flavor profile and even like smells. It's just usually I don't have the patience, and I'll blow through my best stuff before I
No,
can
if you
even
dry
get
it
to that point.
slow, after the sweat, it's ready to smoke. It's obviously going to get better, but yeah, I don't usually have the patience either.
Ready to smoke. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not ever letting my stuff get to the point where it's like, oh, this has a nice 4-month cure on it. Like, no,
Yeah.
I might get halfway there. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I
How
always
long-
find funny? When people post pictures of weed and they tell you the cure time, like it changes the appearance.
Right.
I always
Never.
found that
I don't
like,
think I've even seen that.
dude, I'm telling you, next time you see pictures of like people posting nugs, look under the caption. They like 99% of them like, dude, this has been curing for like 4 months, bro. Like fucking cool. Like you got a good looking nug there, but like I don't give a fuck how long you cured it for. Like, are you trying to tell me that you have like supreme patience or like you're better than me?
Good for
because-
them.
Yeah,
Good
like
for
seriously,
you.
I don't know.
Props on your patience, my friend.
I always just found it fucking stupid. Like, you'll see it all the time, especially in Reddit. The fucking
God.
toxic
yeah.
toxic wasteland that is known as Reddit. I don't even open that app anymore. Like, very rarely. Like,
I don't either.
it's just so
Oh,
the
I
fucking
love it. It has a special
Yeah,
place in my
No.
heart.
yeah. I'm there a lot, like in the NFL forums, like, but that's about it, man. Like,
No, I go and I sort by controversial, and that I just that's
I
what I do
deleted
with
that shit
Reddit.
a long time ago.
That's what I do.
Just a
Yeah, no,
cesspool of
don't ever
humanity.
comment. Don't ever comment. I do.
No.
It is like it has its use for like a niche hobby, but honestly, it's like like with growing, it's like this is our niche hobby, you know.
I think it's fine overall, just not the grow, all the grow rooms, like every single one of them. Like,
You're so
just full of
Listen,
bad
if you
advice and
can-
toxic people.
If you can sift through the bullshit, you can like find a lot of good resources. like with Reddit. I mean, you know,
I learned how to
you just
grow
have
on Reddit.
you
can
have to
learn
know how
grow
to.
there.
It's the skill of like sifting through bullshit to
Mhm.
find the little nuggets of useful info. That's Reddit in a nutshell.
Yes, it's a treasure
And
hunt.
yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. But I want to hear. So amazing. You are releasing a whole lineup based on Supreme Leader. Now, what did
Correct.
you use the green pheno when you selected, like, you know, you made the second generation, I guess, of Supreme Leader, and are you putting out like the F2 of her?
Correct. Yep. So
Hell
I
yeah.
selected a green mom because I mean I like purple weed too, but I'm with you guys. I really like the green better for terps and just overall smoke. I think it's a lot better than the purple weed. Not all of it, but so yeah, I just wanted to put out uh, a strain that was really heavy in the TK leaning side of it, and that's what I did. So everything that
Nice.
I'm crossing to, it's coming out really good.
So
Well done.
are you putting out crosses with this too? Can you talk about
Yeah.
those, or are they a secret still?
No, I'll tell you. So crossed it to um my blueberry orange juice, right? So we got that coming. Crossed it. I did 7 new crosses. I did Create's Neon Kitty that he sent me, which is a cheetah piss crossed with the
Ooh.
925 OG. Yeah, it's really good.
Sorry,
Um,
cheetah piss. That's fucking awesome.
yeah,
Is that a
funny
Kenny
name.
type of
It's
smoke?
like a cat pissy type of smoke. It smells like pure cat piss and diesel.
Ooh.
Never
All
in
Yeah.
right.
my life.
You've never
See, I'd
smelled the
be
cat piss terp?
I have smelled it.
Oh,
I
somebody know what
refuse
that
to
is in
smoke
the
it.
comments?
I mean, listen,
I just
do you
find
have
it
a cat?
absolutely revolting.
Just go
Yeah, of
stick
course.
your
Yeah.
fucking nose in the litter box. You smell
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Pleasant.
No, it's not actually. When people say, like, so in the beer world, there's also a hop. It's called Simcoe. Simcoe hop is very known for imparting like a cat pissy profile to beer and like IPAs. And it's not so much cat piss as it is like ammonia or like acetate.
Yeah. I know
So,
some
you
people
know,
that's totally their jam and rock on with your bad selves. That's just not my cup of
you
tea.
don't want to nail polish remover terps. Those are I mean, those are strong terps at
Ooh.
least.
Yeah.
Strong terps.
There's only one terp that I can recently remember smelling that I really didn't like, and that was that shit you showed me, Captain. I'm not even gonna say the
I
name.
know, it was the
That,
D word. The D
yeah,
word.
that was did that. It smelled like
Oh.
fucking. I don't even know. Like it.
Baby
I don't know.
diaper.
Yeah, it didn't even look like weed. Like it looked like something like
It
that shit you buy out of High Times, like the fake weed that they used to sell. You know what I'm talking about?
was
Like
like, yeah, like K2 or some shit. Yeah.
yeah, no, but like before K2, like if you looked in the High Times magazine, they had this like
Yeah,
fake
the
bud section.
buds. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember
Like
that shit.
that's what that looked like before. Like that's what it looked like to me. I'm like, and it
Dude,
just
what
smelled
was that stuff?
I don't know. I've never tried it. I always was curious, like wondered what the hell they were selling. Like, um,
Yeah, right?
that was before the days of like everybody had internet forums and stuff like that. So like, I don't know. I doubt that it's even in the magazine anymore because it's probably bullshit. And now people can talk to other people and find out like through the web, like yeah, that's bullshit. So yeah, I don't know even know if anybody's old enough. There's many people old enough to remember that are listening to this show because I don't think that it was in recent High Times magazines or still in recent High Times magazines.
No, this was definitely before 2000. Like before
Yeah,
Y2K.
yeah, yeah, Yeah. 100%.
Definitely. Nah, man, that's some funny shit.
Anyway, it's all right.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's always fun to reminisce, man, reminisce. But, so yeah, Join was saying we had one cross listed so far. This is going to take us fucking an hour to get through
It
all the
is.
crosses. It's
That's all right.
just the way we
That's
bullshit.
okay.
It's all
You're
good.
fine.
So the one is the Supreme Leader with the cat piss. That sounds fucking fire.
Oh, then you
What
got-
else you got?
That one's gonna be called Mufasa.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, because it's
Good.
like
I like
a
it.
leader cat thing. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
digging
put that together.
Mufasa.
All right.
I'm digging it.
And then of course I crossed the blueberry to it. So I'm not set on the name yet, but I think it's gonna be called Joints Royal Blue.
Ooh.
I like it.
I'm not dead
Very
set on
cool.
it, but
No, that's like that's a classy name, dude. It's a classy
yeah,
name. Now, for those of you who may not know, I grew Joints blueberry. I grew 3 fantastic phenotypes. One was red, one was blue, and one was yellow. Of all the phenos, like they were all great. The yellow phenotype blueberry was like, man, she was the one that got away from me. Like, I mean, that was the terpiest weed I've ever grown. And maybe the terpiest weed I've ever smelled. I mean, I think I would have to rank the terpiest weed I've ever smelled. So, hats off to you, sir, for not following trends in your breeding selections and doing basically what makes you happy. I love that, man. Like, you're not just using all the hype stuff and slapping it together. You're just taking your time, working these strains that you've had in your stable and making them better. And I fucking respect the hell out of that. So, yeah, man.
thanks. That's pretty much what I do. Yeah, I don't care about the hype stuff. I mean, some of it's okay, you know, like the Rainbow Sherb. I really, really like that. And I normally don't like stuff like that, like runts and things like that. I can care less, you know. I never made a cross with runts ever. So, yeah.
Now you're not going to cross runts to Supreme Leader or be like,
Hell
I don't
no.
know, Candy
Real runts
and
is a good smoke. The problem is, it's just like you said, it's
Alien,
like fucking, it's
Candy.
everywhere. It's fucking
I
everywhere.
know.
It's like so
Yeah.
diluted.
I-
Like 79 fucking million different breeders got runts and this and that. It's like enough, please.
I've smoked it a bunch of times, and it's
Yeah.
you know, there's nothing wrong with it. But
Yeah.
for myself, I don't want to use it, you know.
Yeah. Now,
No, I
so
think that would
the-
dilute your brand. You got the right idea, man.
Mhm.
for sure, dude, you're a fucking wizard, man, really. And the blueberry, like I said, is a personal favorite of mine. I will be growing it again 100%. And I
I'll
want
be
just
back
for
to get a cut.
Absolutely, man. I'll let you know. Now I want, for the benefit of maybe new listeners, new audience, you know, I want you to talk about how you made the blueberry, because it's not just, you didn't just like get it cut.
I made that shit from scratch, dude. Pretty much.
Fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I made it. I made the original F1 back in like 2015, like a few years after I first started breeding. I made it by crossing DJ Shorts Blueberry to the original OG Kush. And then, sorry, my screen. Hold on, my screen just went down. Guys, can you
it's
hear
all
me?
good.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're good.
We can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Well, now you just went away. Oh. He'll be back, I hope. He'll be back, I hope. But yeah, so anyway, he made his own blueberry, guys. Like it was, it's a passion project for him. And blueberry is just one of those classic strains everyone remembers that, like, man, you just can't fucking find. You really can't. So
Mm.
it's badass. Hey, if you're there, joint, come back. Oh no. Did our whole stream just go down?
No.
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. All right. Oh, never mind. And well, I did want to talk about the rest of his crosses, but in any case, I guess we can move on, guys. I guess we can move on unless he comes back. Can always
He's
be
coming.
light on our feet and switch back. Yeah. Anyone got a topic? Throw it out there. Let's talk.
Well, tell me what you loved about his blueberry so much. Like, why was it so amazing? I know you've been talking about it since you grew it. Like,
Yeah,
what?
it was the terpiest, like it just stunk like to the high heavens. It was like it smelled, it tasted like blueberry, in varying forms, like blueberry mixed with gas, blueberry mixed with gunpowder, blueberry mixed
Oh.
with just maybe a little bit of extra blueberry on the one. It was great. Like, and it was kind of like a nostalgic thing for me. I don't know if you experienced the same thing, like where I lived back in, let's see, like the early 2000s. Like that was some of the first weed I remember getting where it had like a brand name on it. Like it was someone was claiming like yo man, this is blueberry. You're gonna like this. $75 an eighth, kid. Like that kind of shit. And and I remember buying it for that price, and I remember going back and asking for more because it was like it just stood out,
Yeah,
really
no,
stood
real
out.
blueberry. I mean, you get those blueberry terps. It's amazing. Like, it's like the first time I tried it, I was blown away. Like, holy shit! Like, I don't know. Yeah, like a real good blueberry is hard to find. The fact that he created his own from scratch is fucking epic. Um, really. So,
For sure.
yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
Amazing.
But yeah, so I did want to talk a little bit too about my experience with I got along with my bags of soil that came loaded with rotten egg smell and way too much water. I got a bag of cocoa, or a brick of cocoa, not a bag, a brick. So I had to watch Dr. Coco's video and figured out exactly how to basically waste a good 25% of the brick and get those fine particles out from your medium. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah,
I
it
don't.
took
I don't feel it
about
was
an hour.
necessary to do all that.
No, you don't do that at all?
No, you asked me what I did. I told you, and then you went and did Dr.
I
Coco's method.
know, I know, no, I know. Well, listen, you didn't get back to me in time, so like I was just
I
like,
know. It's been a
I was
crazy
there,
week.
and I had to
So
I had to go to Dr. Coco for
yeah,
advice. I don't like
I
doing it.
I know. Um, so for those wondering how I would do it, I just rehydrate the brick. I don't use bricks, but if I was going to, and I have before,
Hey, he's back.
there he
Baby,
is.
rip the cord out, dude.
Nice. Hey,
Don't
it's
worry
all
about it,
good.
brother.
No worries,
Um,
man.
I just rehydrate them, and I don't soak them in CalMag. I've never had to do that. I think it's fucking ridiculous, that practice. It's another bro science thing to me, honestly. Some people will say it's not, but when you're constantly feeding the plants with a solution, especially with enough CalMag in it, they're not gonna be CalMag deficient. Anyway, I digress. I just rehydrate it, put it in pots, flush it with whatever solution I'm gonna be feeding the plants with, and then that's it. Good to go. Throw some
Easy as can
mycorrhizer
be.
in the hole, stick the fucking plant in, and yeah, and that's it. I've never done it any other way. And the same thing, I do the same process with the bags of cocoa. I put it in my bag, except I don't have to rehydrate. I just throw it in my pots, flush the shit out of it with a good nutrient solution. Make sure it's not running like brown. Which a lot of cocoa can sometimes. You want to get that brown, nasty water out of there, and then plant. And good to go. Always worked for me. If you don't do that, I see a lot of people that don't, and they do end up having issues. Like I don't care how buffered your cocoa is, like triple buffered, whatever. They all say that. You gotta like flush it and get like there's if you test the EC of the runoff, you'd be surprised sometimes what's coming out of there. Um, Way higher than you've put in. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. When you pot up your cocoa, make sure you heavily saturate that pot and get some runoff. That's the only time I really even advocate for runoff. You can
Mm.
do cocoa top water without runoff. I know plenty of people that have done it with plenty of success. You don't need to do runoff in cocoa. I will tell you, if you want to go through the process of doing it, you probably will have a much easier time, because if you don't know what you're doing and you're not getting enough runoff, then you might run into some issues. But anyway, I digress.
Hey, you're the cocoa guy. I mean, shit, I'm listening and learning, man. It's interesting stuff. I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna be encountering all these issues, I'm sure, for the first time. And
Yeah,
um,
my biggest recommendation for you, as far as the newts go, whatever they say the max is to use, that's what I would use.
okay, I will do that. But I will say that separating the now I got a really cheap brick of cocoa. It was not like high grade canna grade product, if you will. It was from like a local garden center.
Okay.
And it was probably sitting on the counter for like the better part of 5 years. It was dusty. It was very much like not a great product at all. A lot of those small fibers. So it took a while, and a lot of shit separated out, man. So like I said, I
Yeah.
ended up with 3/4 of the volume of what I started with. But what I wanted to say is that as I was rehydrating that brick, I had it in like a big tub, and I had a hose, just adding water to it constantly, like trying to let this tub fill up. But what I noticed is that the tub did not fill up. Like I had the hose on full blast in this tub for like 20 minutes, okay? Maybe more. And the cocoa was just absorbing all of that water. Like it was incredible. Like there was a little puddle around the cocoa, but it just kept sucking it up. Like
Yeah.
it was wild, man. So I do see why that is a great growing medium. If you can add that much water to it and it still has oxygen in it, I mean
I'd like
that's
to see somebody do like real organics with cocoa. I think it's a superior medium to peat in every way.
well that's
I mean,
That's that's Mr. Canuck, guys.
Yeah, I was just
Mr.
gonna
Canuck
say that.
uses he does the amended super cocoa with Gaia Green 444.
far.
But in all seriousness, man, he is kind of like the pioneer of that method, and he makes it look real fucking easy. So like, yeah, I mean, actually, shout out to Mad Hatter. He does the same method.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Matt Hatter does
Yeah,
organics.
Mad Hatter
Yeah.
does. He uses dry amendments with cocoa, and
Yeah.
it
I'd like to
works
see
great.
people I'd like to see people kind of move towards that. Like more organic growers. I don't know how you feel about it, Joy. I mean, we can have a discussion about it if you like, but the argument's always been which is more sustainable. And there's just no doubt in my mind that cocoa is more sustainable than peat. It's a byproduct, for crying out loud. Cocoa is a byproduct that of a fruit that's already harvested. Like peat, we're having to like literally break down peat bogs. Like there's going to be a point in time where there just won't be any more left. Cocoa is going to continue to be here indefinitely. I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about it, Joint?
I used cocoa for like one run a really, really long time ago. I don't have much experience with it.
Well, I mean,
But,
more or less like the sustainability thing,
well,
because I think that's a big argument in the.
yeah. Well, obviously it's more sustainable than peat, but I think that the peat bogs, it's gonna be like hundreds of years before, maybe even thousands of years before the peat bogs are, empty
Mm.
of peat. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
That's
To
that
be honest,
is, that is true. Like there,
I mean,
you do have to extract peat from a source, like a bog. But
yeah,
the bogs, like in I was going to say Canada, in Canada, from what I understand, like the Canadian sphagnum peat moss that you can buy is pretty sustainably harvested, and like they kind of have like at least like a regenerative style of growing that peat. Like so
right.
they're trying to make more as they take some
and
from
and they only
the
take
bog.
so much at a time per year and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So
So, like, and
Yeah, I mean,
and that being said, then like it travels a much shorter distance to reach your hands as a grower in the United States than, let's say, like the husk of a coconut, a green coconut that fell like on the shores of the Indian Ocean somewhere.
Mhm.
You know,
right,
no, this is why I
so
like to have the discussion. I think that there's valid points on both sides, both things that you said make a lot of sense as far as the traveling, the economic impact on that. Um, I don't know. There's, I think you could go one way or the other. That's why I think there's such a strong, like with the people that really, there's people that really feel strongly one way or the other. And I'm not 100% sure. In my mind, I would think that cocoa would be more sustainable and less of an environmental impact. I could be wrong, but that's just, I think either way, there's arguments to be made on both sides.
right.
yeah. Now I think both have their merits, both have their pros and cons. Like I
Mhm.
think there are perhaps some not so ethical labor practices in certain like cocoa harvesting
Yeah,
facilities that
yeah.
may be located in
Very
a
much so.
third world country, that type thing. It's the same thing that, people argue with like bat guano. It's just like, the people they send off to these islands to harvest fucking bat poop is like, you should see what they have to do to get this stuff. And again, it's a finite resource. Like one day we are going to run out of bat poop. Like what will you do then? Like, so it's a discussion, man. But I think like for anyone that's making their own soil, and you start with a bale of peat and then add amendments to it, I think you would benefit in adding a small percentage, even a large percentage of cocoa in with the peat. You can do both. It's not
Yep.
like it has to be one or the other.
I used to do that with my super soils when I was into the super soil. Half peat, half cocoa. It
You
The
worked
would
argument
well.
peat
for
with
for cocoa,
cocoa.
yeah. The I feel like the argument against cocoa with a lot of organic guys is like it dries out too quickly, and
That's my issue
eh,
with it, and the cow mag
Mhm.
issues. Those are
mhm.
my two
Yeah,
issues with it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. But
so as like, as a tent pirate, not everyone has the ability to water your cocoa plants, high frequency fertigation style for 4 to 6 times a day, right? for some people, it's just not practical growing style.
For
But
any
if
of you 10
you,
pirates, I could show you how to make an automated watering system for $10.
oh, for sure.
Water your 2 to 4 plants. That's not autopot. Like, hey, I love autopots, and I think that's the way to go, and it'd be better than any automated watering system you can buy. But if you want a cheap way to water your plants automatically, hit me up, and I'll show you how. Real easy.
It's true. It's true. I just if you're a person who's just getting into growing, I can tell you because I just went through it not so long ago myself, man. Like, I mean, thinking about automating is one of the furthest things on your mind as a noob. Really, you just bought a bunch of equipment, you're trying to get the hang of it, and you just want to make it work a few times before you go and invest in more stuff. But then when you do, of course, you're going to want to think about what Monster's saying, like getting, smart systems in place to make your
Long
growing
run.
easier.
Yep.
Yeah. Every piece of gear you buy should just be another piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, and I've been a stubborn asshole. I've been growing for 14 years and have always hand watered. And when I got the autopots back in March, I still didn't set them up right away, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to try them even this year. But I finally broke them out, and now that I have, just like I don't ever want to go back. 14 years of hand watering, I'm done. These things are exceptional. These things are fucking exceptional.
We have another convert, ladies and gentlemen.
It really makes me happy, man.
Does G3 grow with autopots? Do you grow with autopots? Yeah.
Will be. Yep.
It was in her contract. We made her
in the
sign
pot.
to come on the show. No,
Nice.
I'm just
Have to grow with autopots. Have to hand over my soul.
No.
She
It's
has
just
no
like
contract.
Done.
I think what it is, man, really, you just like you get autopot curious. Is that like a is that like a sexuality we could say? I'm autopot curious. I'm auto curious. I don't know. Anyway, like you see people using them out there, and you see like how big the plants get, and then you're just like, wait, how does this work? The plants feed themselves. I don't have to do fucking jack shit, and I
Nothing.
could leave for a week and just they'd be good. Wait, it works with organics. It works with synthetics, like whatever growing style you want. Like, all right, I mean, fucking sold. So, yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad you're liking them, man. I'm really glad.
Yeah, dude, they're the shit, man.
Shout out to So Sky High.
It was after I watched your grow, dude. I knew I had to break them out shortly after that. That's what did it.
Yeah, dude. We were talking about it on the phone. You couldn't say enough good things about them. It made me happy. Because I love it when, like, it's like I don't know. Like, because I believe, obviously, that it's, like, the best thing ever for fucking plants. And, like, when people use it and then they're like, dude, it's fucking awesome. It makes me smile. I don't, it makes me feel like the owner of Autopots, really. Like, I'm proud of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, sweet, man. Like, yeah. I don't know.
They're feeling how good you feel now,
Dude, yeah. I mean,
it's like you're empathizing with their emotion on how good they feel because you use the autopots,
Yeah. Yeah. I was skeptical at first, man. Like, I saw people using them, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Bottom feed, SIP system, no pumps. Just sounds way too good to be true.
It literally did. I was the same way. Yeah.
Dude, way too good
Now,
to be true.
I think one thing, like blue mots work great. And like you said, you could, if you really wanted to, go to Home Depot or Lowe's and just buy basic gardening equipment like a 1/4-inch tubing and, a timer and a drip emitters, and you could set up your own automatic watering system. No problem. Like, it's really easy, and it'd probably be cheaper than autopots. Even with the code CC10 on Autopot USA website. It's just the thing that makes autopots better than Blue Mott's or any other automatic watering system, in my opinion at least, is that you don't have to dial anything in. Like there's no tweaking, there's no adjusting, there's no guessing involved at all.
No pump.
Yeah, no pump. Like you let the
Yeah.
fucking plants drink. It's like an all you can drink buffet. And like we've said a million times. Again, and okay, yeah, I see Marty in the chat. How you doing, man? He says there's also no power involved. That's
Yeah.
another great feature.
Mhm.
So no power, and you let the plants have an all-you-can-drink buffet, and like we've said 1,000 times, they will drink way more than you will ever give them as a hand waterer. Just a fact.
Yeah, no, I've noticed since I started using them that they drank so much more water than I was giving them, and I was giving them a lot and watering. So I'm kind of blown away at how much they actually, they do drink when it's available to them all the time. It's pretty crazy, man.
Nice.
For sure.
I'm glad you're digging them, and in organics too. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people. There's a lot of people that say that no, that's not a good system for organics, and I would actually beg to differ. I would
It's the
go as far as
best.
saying. I was just gonna say I would go as far as saying that
Great.
I think auto pots are a better system for organics than they are for anything else, because most organic growers are just they like to hand water, and there's no way you're gonna give your plants that much water. You won't. You just never will. I've had some in cocoa, 12 plants, drink like 30 gallons in 2 days, and you're like, what the fuck? Did I have a leak or something? Like, no, the plants just sucked it up. Like these
Drink that
outdoor
shit.
ones I have, it's been so hot and up here in fucking Massachusetts, that they're just chugging. I had to make a bigger reservoir because I didn't want to have to go there every
Wow.
friggin' 2 days.
They
So
do that. Now, I see a couple people in the chat mentioning a thing that I wanted to mention, that a little caveat with autopots and organics is that one of the things as an organic grower you're going to want to do is keep like the top 2 inches of your soil moist, covered with like a nice mulch layer. You want to keep that moist in there because that is where the majority of your microbial activity will take place, and breaking down those top dressings and whatever else you're feeding the plant, like however you're doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
And a lot of people get concerned. One of the most common questions I get about the way I use the auto pots is like, does the top layer of the soil dry out? If so, will it kill my microbes? And, the answer is, like, in a way, yes. Like, I find that if I don't top water at all and I just let the system work and they butt chug as much as they want, even with my mulch layer, the top layer of the soil dries out a little bit too much for my liking.
yeah, I think if you left it alone, I think it would be fine. But you top feed anyway, like with teas. So
yeah, well, that's all part of the way I look at the system. Like as an organic grower, like I just view it as an automated SIP system. If you know what that is, a sub-irrigated planter. A lot of people have seen earth boxes out there, right? It's literally the same thing.
Pretty much.
It's just has a tube connected to the bottom, and there's water that gets dispersed like as the plant needs it. So it's an automated SIP system. I use, top dressings, teas, foliar feeds, like every tool in the toolbox. But it does, like, it just flat out, like, if you're not doing that, I think you're gonna shortchange yourself a little bit. However, Autopot is coming out with an XXL system very soon, which for an organic grower who doesn't want to fuck around at all with teas, with foliar feedings, with anything. If you want a true water only automated sip system, there it is. You can either get a 9-gallon or a 13-gallon pot and put it in a big tray. Imagine how big those fuckers would get.
Yeah, that's huge for you organic guys.
13
Huge.
gallons.
Like
Good.
unnecessary for cocoa, guys. Don't waste if you're growing cocoa. I mean, you can do it if you want, but
You would
yeah.
get like Mendocino County size plants in your fucking tent. You'd be like,
Yeah. I'm
seriously.
really excited to see what you organic guys get to do with that. You know, not just you in particular, but other growers. Yeah, because the soil's the battery type of thing. You know, with it, you know, the more you can get in there, the better run you're gonna get. And 5-gal or 7-gal just doesn't seem like enough to me. People have
It's
done
not.
it and they've done fine. So yeah, 13-gal, 9-gal. Now you're fucking talking. That's gonna be huge, man.
Yeah, maybe they should
A
throw
thir-
in some like training stuff with each order.
I know. Like seriously,
Uh,
I think 1, 2 plants in 13-gallon pots might. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. And maybe 4. Maybe 4. Man, maybe I'll just go balls to the wall. We'll see. But no, I am pumped because that would be truly the easiest way to do it. Like, I don't want to put organic goop in my reservoir. Okay? Even though Autopot is like, they kind of say that their system's built out to handle that stuff now with bigger diameter tubing, and they come
The
with
Pro
like a
filter.
filter. Yeah, the filter
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, it's equipped to handle a little bit of goop, but I don't want it. All right. Like, so I didn't even clean the auto pots in between runs this round, right? I didn't have to. All I put in the reservoir is water.
Yep.
So there ain't
What I
nothing in
do.
there to clean.
Yep.
Like, I took out the pots that had the root ball in them, and I put in the new pot that I had just transplanted. Boom. Like, I just want shit as easy as possible,
Yeah.
you know?
I just feel like if you use the reservoir for like teas and anything else, it's just gonna be a headache trying to clean the lines, and you know, it's better to just run, you know, your water through it and you know, top feed.
it's easy enough to do.
Yeah,
know.
the only organics I put
Super
into
fucking
my
easy.
reservoir is Photo Plus. Um,
Oh yeah,
and
you
that
were
is
telling me about that.
yeah, and now that I know that it cleans my lines, I can eliminate a product. So I used to have to run cleanse. Like I didn't have to. I just did it as a precautionary. Like I don't know, maybe once a month I would run cleanse in my res, and I knew that that would kill all my microbes, so then I'd have to reinoculate. But now I don't have to do that. The Photo Plus will actually clean my lines. It removes the biofilm, according to them, actually. So I'm gonna try it, and I'll report back if I have any issues. But I mean, he seemed really convinced. Though. Remember, I asked him, like, how confident in you in
Yeah.
that in the ability, because that's huge for me. Like, I hated doing it. I really did. I kind of
Dude,
hate.
that was one of the things I found most interesting about that whole discussion with Scott was that
Yeah.
the whole product line started in like water treatment.
Mm.
And the microbes that they use are like almost best at eating organic like lines and a res system. So, you know, knowing that, maybe I can revise my feeding method with autopots. I don't know. I'll have to experiment a little when I get my photosynthesis plus in the mail. Because yeah, you know I'm trying that shit out.
fair warning.
Yeah.
Fair warning. That stuff smells terrible.
I know you.
Like, I'm just telling you, fish shit smells like perfume compared to this.
Wait, it doesn't smell like
No
Puerto
way.
Rican hookers.
No. But I'm just
Mhm.
telling you, like, you think fish shit smells bad, dude? I would use fish shit as a cologne compared to this stuff. That's how putrid photosynthesis plus is.
Casper.
Casper's the man, dude. That cat. So I walked into Captain's house. The cat walked right up to me, never seen me before. I picked him up and just held him, just like that. He's like the chillest cat ever. He's never seen me before in his life. Like seriously, like I've seen a
Just
lot of
walked
cats.
over, you just
He's
walked
one of the
over and
coolest. Yeah,
wanted to say hi. Yeah,
yeah.
he's pretty chill, man.
He's an awesome cat. Really is. And
Um,
I'm not even a cat guy. I'm a dog guy, but that cat's fucking awesome.
if you like dogs, you would like Casper. That's kind of how
Yeah.
I look. But
Yeah.
so yeah, that's what's up, man. I'm honestly, you know, maybe I can combine my newfound knowledge of this res cleaning bacteria and incorporate some organics in my reservoir. But at the same time, like it ain't that hard to do it the way that I've been doing it, which is, you know, a little bit of top dressing. You turn off the system. It's just like a nozzle at the end of the reservoir. You know, you turn it off and then let the trays drain out for half a day, maybe a whole day. Once the water's gone in the tray, you probably got enough like room in your soil to just add a little bit of moisture to the top. Like it's not, you don't have to go really nuts with it, but when I do water, like I'll use as little water as I can, but then add like a full dose of whatever microbes I'm adding or whatever like organic nutrient that I'm putting in. If I mix that into my water, I still use like a full dose, but it's much, much less water than it would typically say to mix it with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's
I
easy.
I just get the tops wet a little bit, you know, every few days, and that's it. You know, you don't want to soak them.
That's it. Just a little
Now,
bit.
something we should talk about. Don't do that with salts.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
hell
glad
no.
you added that. I'm glad you added that.
Don't do that with salts. You'll kill your plants. So what happens with salts is the way they work with autopots is that's all flushing to the top of the medium.
Yeah, it's gonna build up.
Yeah, where it doesn't affect the plant at all. So that kind of leads me to the other thing. Well, see where I'm saying if all those salts go to the top of the plant and it doesn't hurt the plant, then I don't think you need to worry about keeping your top layer of soil moist, because all the roots that matter are at the bottom.
It's not true in organics, man. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen feeder roots up at like the top of the soil?
Yeah, I mean,
very
but I don't know.
not the ones like not the woody ones that are like, you know, coming off the main
You're
stalk.
such a man of like simplicity. I would think that you would like to at least consider it, just not doing it. What about like pouring your teas into the bottom?
Because I've seen with my own experience that like there's different roots that come out if you add top dressing onto your soil, man, like the plant fucking knows where the food is and it'll send roots up to get it. And they're like the white fuzzy roots that like they'll start poking out of the tops of the soil. Like, I mean, it's a whole organics is a little bit of a different world, man. And like, you know, the way I use the autopots, it took a lot of thinking, because organics is kind of like it's a delicate system. You know, you're trying to mimic like a natural process in a tent, and there's a lot of little nuances to it, man. Like you would think, you know, you might think that not keeping the top of your soil doesn't fucking matter, but like if you want the best results from organics, I would advise that you do.
It makes a huge difference.
Okay, cool. I'll take your word for it and believe you.
Yeah.
It's just because I don't grow that way.
Yeah, no, it's a different world.
Yeah, I do know people that have just used like water only with a living soil and organics and never fucked with it, keep it the top dry, and have had good results. So that's the only reason I mention it. That's all.
You know, I mean, good. Like I'm not disputing that. Like they'd have good results doing that, but what I'm saying is you will have better results if you pay attention to little details like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. But yeah, anyway, it's
That's why I like the conversation, man.
yeah,
know?
man. Hey,
I mean, you're
listen,
both
it's
correct. Like, if there is a layer
exactly.
of salt at the top of the soil, right? All of the feeder roots that would be up there are gonna die off. And I got a
Yep.
terrible connection in here. So hopefully you guys can hear me. So
Yeah, no, we got most of
hopefully
that.
you can understand me. All right. So feeder roots will die off because of all the salt. But in organics, if that's where all of their nutrients are coming from on the top, feeder roots are going to be in top. In synthetics, if all their nutrients are coming from the bottom, then all your feeder roots are going to be in the bottom.
100%. 100%. I think that's like, I think would you not agree, Monster, that like you've seen a little bit of like plant intelligence, as it were. Like, remember the discussion we had about like the water pipes, and the plant was able to like navigate or something and find the water,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Like,
So for those who don't know what we're talking about, I read a study and I wish I could fucking cite it, but I don't remember where it was from. I want to say it was Purdue, to be honest with you. I could be wrong, but basically they put plants near pipes, and some of the pipes had running water through them, and some of them didn't. And they noticed that the plants gravitated to the ones with the sound of the running water, um, which is fucking fascinating to me.
Amazing.
It really is. Like, plants are fucking way more intelligent than we give them credit for. It's kind of brutal the way we take care of them. It's like their main goal in life is to reproduce, and we're fucking depriving them of that most of the time, and then we just kill them.
and then we smoke them afterward. No,
Yeah.
no less.
And if
No.
you
Fucking
can, you
savage.
beat them up first.
You toss them around in a trim bag for a little
Yeah.
bit.
So
But,
we lost you there for a while, Joy. You were gotta get into how you came up with your blueberry.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I was telling you, I made it from scratch in 2015, and I took DJ Short's blueberry, crossed it to just a plain OG Kush, an original OG Kush, and then I took the progeny of that and crossed it to the Forum Cut Girl Scout cookies, and then it became a blueberry cookies. And from there, I just kept BXing it to the blueberry OG. So that's
it
how
was
I
a
made it,
back
man.
cross of a back cross of a back cross.
Can
Pretty
you
much.
explain back crossing so that people kind of understand it? Because I think it's one of those terms that's not often used in common breeding practices.
Yeah, what
Yes.
is a back cross?
So a back cross is when you kind of want to lock in some traits from your original parents. So you take like I really wanted to lock in the traits of the blueberry and the OG, because it was just excellent smoke and plant to grow. And anyway, so after I made the blueberry cookies, I took the mom from the F1, the progeny of the blueberry cookies, and I back crossed it to the F1, right? So that helps lock in those traits. And you take those progeny from the BX1, that's called a BX1 from the first back cross.
Okay.
Then yeah, you take those progeny and you back cross it again to the same mom. And you can do that as many times as you want. You don't want to do it too many times because then you kind of start bottlenecking the genetics and it starts to lose vigor. Just like if you inbreed it too many times, right, to like F10, 11, 12, So yeah, that's how you do it. That's what a back cross is. About locking in the genetics pretty much for preservation.
And that's why the blueberry is the terpiest of the
Why, man?
terps, because he
Yeah.
back crossed it to that blueberry. And he
6
like
years.
basically made your own version of blueberry, but better. Like
Thanks, man.
now with more blueberry.
That's how you. Yeah, that's what you said last time.
I
I gotta try that, man. I can't wait till you fucking pop those beans again, Captain. Because that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Hurry the fuck up,
I'll
dude.
get it. I will, dude. Well, that's all part of the plan, my man. I'm gonna be able to do smaller pots and more of
Oh
them in a
shit.
tent.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's all
Yep.
part of the master plan to
Yep.
bring it full circle. But we are getting a little bit late on time. But before we say our goodbyes, I wanted to get through at least your drop joint. So like, yeah, we had our cheetah piss, we have our blueberry. What else is getting crossed with Supreme Leader?
So I crossed the Rainbow Sherbert 11 with it, the Doja cut. I got it from
Ooh.
Casper. He's Create
Captain's
Genetics.
cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a talented feline.
Dude, I knew I liked that cat, dude. I
You
told
know,
you he's
he
fucking
he
awesome.
been breeding for a little bit. I mean, you know,
He's with the shits. Anyway, yeah, Casper, he gave me that cut, and so I hit it with that, and that's gonna be Supreme Sherbert. And then
nice.
I like
Casper,
that name.
yeah, Casper also gave me Matt Berger's original Bubba Kush, a cut of that he got from one of his buddies that he knows that had that cut. And I crossed it to that, and I'm really excited for that one. I've been trying to get my hands on an original Bubba Kush for a very
Real
long
Bubba.
time, dude. Very long time. Not to steer away from our conversation, but I grew HSOs, Humboldt Seed Organization's Bubba Kush, back around the same time I made the Blueberry 2015, and that was an awesome Bubba Kush plant, and that's like that's the one that got away from away from me, dude. So I've been trying to find it ever since. I grew Katsus. To be honest, I had a bunch of issues with it, so I just didn't move forward with that one. Yeah, that one's gonna be called 10-Pound Crown. The Bubba Kush.
10-Pound Crown.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Dude, these are really creative
I
names,
know.
man.
I like the name, but I'm not immediately getting it. I'll have to think about it a little bit.
Well, most of the time you hear the name Bubba and you think of a big guy. No?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
So
That's what I
Supreme is the crown, and then
Right.
10 pounds is just he big. She big.
Yeah, it's a big ass crown.
All right.
Too much.
Bubba Kush is
like
a great
it.
yielder.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that's part
Yeah.
of the reason why too.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yep.
thank you for saying
Now,
that. Too stoned to get my
That's all
words
right.
out. Apparently,
Is that sometimes I think we hear that called like a pre-98
yeah,
Bubba Kush. Is that the same thing?
it is a pre-98 Bubba.
Nice.
And then
Yeah,
there's
there something about those golden years of like the late 90s into the early 2000s, man. That was when like some of the best weed was around. I don't know.
yeah, and I think a lot of it for me is nostalgia too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all about the
sure.
old school shit. Some I like some of the new stuff, but I'm always growing and breeding with and trying to find the older stuff.
Nice. Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah. There's two more. They don't have
Word.
names yet. It's Bakery Genetics Peanut Butter Breath
Take a
EX3
fucking shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name on this.
from the last episode, right? Or the other episode you guys had. Yeah, it's that with the Supreme Leader. I don't know if you guys seen
Wow.
that on my page,
Wow. Dude, I fucking love
Yeah.
peanut butter breath.
Dude, that's gonna
Everybody
be
knows
nuts.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the
Monster's
Pheno-
gonna be all over that one.
but Pheno that I got for the mom from the Peanut Butter Breath has the hot pink fan leaves. I mean, it's so stinky
I'm on
and
board.
delicious. Yeah, dude. Anyway. And then the
Wow.
other one is the Unicorn Poop BX from the bakery crossed with it. So That
Wow,
one's
man,
my
that's some.
Corn poop.
You gotta lock up like a fucking full
Yeah,
stack
that
lineup.
sounds
dude. I've
like
been,
an amazing lineup.
You've been
dude,
working
I've
your
been
ass off, man.
yeah for like 2 years on all this shit. I hunted
Yeah.
other than the cuts that Casper gave me. I hunted all this stuff, and I take my time. I hunt most of my own cuts. I just don't trust anybody else's really,
Yeah.
and plus I want mine to be better than everybody else's. So
Amen. Amen.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, man. It's besides needing to find the parents for the supreme leader. I worked like 2 years on this entire thing. So really
Oh,
excited. I hadn't really put out anything prior to that besides the neurotoxin drop last year and the blueberry drop when I was on last year.
Mhm.
That's it. So
Wow.
hey.
Well, you're one of the real ones, man. Putting in that work, not just chucking pollen. Because, like I've said before on the show, anybody can make seeds, guys. It's actually easy to make seeds, but to breed and put out something quality that's reliable and has stable genetics, that's work.
Well,
You know.
a
So
lot of
shout out.
100%, man. 100%. And again, you're not following hype and trends. You're doing what motivates you and what, you're following your passion. And that's what I respect. You are an artist, my friend. You really are. And
thank you.
I think you mentioned a lot of these strains are as of now unnamed, correct?
Yeah, a couple of them.
And I was lucky enough to have a spark of creativity and make a funny post about like Kim Jong Un or Kim Jong Il and put the two together and boom, Supreme Leader was born. So like, if it's all right with you, I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot, and let me know. But like, maybe we could throw it out there to the audience.
Yeah,
If
go.
you
I was
heard
actually-
anything.
I was gonna suggest that, to be honest. So go right ahead.
If you
You
ever
guys,
dreamed of naming a strain, think about what we listed and try to be creative.
yeah, there you go. And if whoever picks the best name, and if I like it enough to use it, I'll send you some free packs of it.
That's fucking dope.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Thanks.
That's
That's killer.
that's a great, like, that sounds fun as hell, honestly. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people would be
And
motivated to do that.
I'll make it a 30 pack. Wow.
Whoa.
Ooh.
That's really generous of you, dude.
Whoa.
That's super generous, brother.
Come
Super
up with those
generous.
dope ass names, my friends.
Nice. That'll get some
Nice.
people motivated. I know a
Let
few
me.
people right
Love
now.
it.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
two.
Oh, yeah, we
Where,
got
where, where can they find you, Joy? Tell people where they can find you.
On Instagram at trichome.god
All
and
right.
on my website right here, acuniversal.link. And any day now, I was trying to have the video out prior to this episode, so that I could talk about it and maybe get some people to go watch it. But hopefully by tomorrow morning, I'm gonna be working on it all night. I'm dropping my first YouTube video. So
Do you have the
Oh,
channel out so
cool.
people can go and subscribe?
yeah, the channel's up. There's just
Okay.
no videos
Well,
on
Oh,
it yet.
what's the channel so people can go out and subscribe?
Mad Hatter, he knows. He already subscribed. He was my very first subscriber. Shout
Okay.
out to
Oh,
you,
yeah?
buddy. Yeah,
Oh,
last night.
the channel's already up. All right. Well, I was gonna say, man, your website is one of the nicer breeder websites I've seen. I love how it looks and
I
it's easy
appreciate
to
that.
use, man. So
I still need to work on it though, dude. I didn't realize, but there's still some words like in German and shit on a couple of the pages that I haven't even touched yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's a little difficult to
If you need, are you using WordPress?
yeah,
If
WordPress.
you need a hand, just let me know. I'm not the best with it, but I mean, I put up our site, so just let me know.
All right, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's coming after, that was the next thing I was going to work on after, the YouTube stuff. So one thing at a time, man. I got 3 fucking badass kids. So
well,
my time is limited between the garden and these children,
Oh yeah. Well,
Um,
dude, we really want to thank you for
yeah,
coming on, man.
for sure.
Yes, thank you.
That being said, thank you for giving us some of your time and telling us about what you've been brewing, man. It's always good to hear, someone who loves what they do and puts in the work. I love hearing about what you got going on, man.
Yeah, no
So
doubt,
thank
guys.
you very
Thanks for
much.
having me on again. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
dude, you know that.
I love coming on,
Always,
bullshitting with you guys.
always. And I just wanted to say, we already have one of our memesters in the chat saying, you got to call Peanut Butter Breath crossed with Supreme Leader Führer Carver. Führer Carver. Now, I guess that's a reference to Hitler and George Washington
George
Carver,
Washington
the
Carver.
inventor of peanut butter. It's very obscure, my friend. Very obscure.
yeah.
Well, Biff Beans has the lemon carver, which is peanut butter
Yeah,
bread
yeah, yeah. Okay, there you go. You're right.
crossed with black lemon cake.
So not that obscure. All right, all right.
Yep.
Führer Carver. All right. I mean, all right.
Yeah.
I'm liking it more actually now that we got some creative people, man. Just saying. The
No, that's
ideas
all
are
good.
already coming. The
Keep 'em
ideas are
flowing.
already coming. No,
Cool.
man. I like it, Brack. Man, don't worry, man. It's
Yeah,
I think it was fun.
they're not
as
all
shit.
winners.
I knew it was Brack to the I knew it was
Don't
him.
worry, man. It's all good. But yeah, we appreciate you coming on, man. When is this drop happening?
Either sometime in mid to late August. I'll be posting and promoting it about a week prior.
All right,
Word.
soon. We'll
Does
help you promote and
Seeds are already done and stuff. I'm just finishing up all the testing and deciding, if I'm gonna release all of them, or I might have to hold one back. We're just gonna see. It depends on the ratios and the percentages and things like that. So, because
Yeah.
I won't put it out if it's not perfect in my eyes. Well, not perfect, but up to par. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
there's times I do 100 plant pheno hunts and I don't keep shit. So
That's one
That's what we
reason
want.
why. Yeah, one
Yeah.
reason why I
Yeah.
think you're one of the real ones.
so
What's your favorite of all the ones from this drop?
That's a tough question.
the 10-pound crown for sure. Besides the Supreme Leader itself, the Bubba Kush
Mhm.
one, Bubba Kush. That and the peanut butter breath. Really like the peanut butter breath. That medicine is awesome.
Dude, I gotta be honest with you. I can't decide which one I want to try more. They really. I mean, I know that sounds corny, but they really do all sound.
Yeah, they do.
ridiculous.
They do.
Delicious.
They do. It's like you got like your chemi, you got your fruity, you got your cushy, you got your I don't even know what peanut butter, your peanut buttery. You got your
Yeah, kind of. Peanut butters. It's really hard. It's like a musky, right? Monster.
Stay. It's like I say. It's like
BO.
like a stale peanut butter.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the way I classify because it's not like so strong that I don't know. I'm terrible at describing fucking terps anyway. So, but yeah,
The one I have, it does. You get those peanut butter hints of notes of it, but it kind of smells like BO, like sweaty armpits. I know that sounds terrible, but
No. It's like the kind that you can't stop smelling. You're
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
you're
It's really
just like,
fun.
ew, that's nasty, but I gotta smell it again.
Yeah, it's funky.
Dude,
It's good.
savory musk, exactly. That's a good way to put it, Brack. See?
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, man, I can't wait to see. I can't wait till it all happens. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us about it. You are always welcome, and I want to tell everyone to go check us out on Patreon.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to a couple of new Patreon supporters.
Please do.
Sixer 420. Thank you for your support, man. We really appreciate it. Green Essentials. Another great guy. He's real active on the Discord.
Before you go on, real quick, Sixer 420 is a special friend of mine too, because he helped us do like our audio version of the YouTube.
Oh, that's
channel.
him. Oh, dude,
Yeah,
super
that's
shout
him.
out to you, man.
Yeah, he was
Super shout
very
out to you.
kind, and he maintained a YouTube channel for us as an audio show before we transitioned to video and started to do it that way. So like we've had a YouTube presence now for like the better part of a year, thanks to him.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, dude.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
salute.
much.
Thank you very much. And he is now a Patreon supporter. So again,
Yeah, dude. You're fucking you rock. Thank you.
super appreciative. Like we couldn't ask for more.
No, dude, that's awesome. Thank you very much, man. We actually, for those of you who don't know, we had him take it down because we had people getting confused. But yeah, dude, thank you so much. Like you went
Yeah,
through a lot of effort and everything, and
you
you're
didn't
a
have to do
solid dude.
that,
No,
and we
no,
appreciate it.
thank you very much.
But that is, and again, before you move on with the list, that's what I mean when I say, like, we appreciate financial contributions, but it doesn't have to be that, guys. If you don't have the money to shell out, like, we understand. Give us a little bit of your time. Give us a little bit of your talent. If you're good at memes, good at poetry, slam poetry, do something funny. Like, you're good at graphic design. Help us out. Like, just give us a little bit of your talent. We love that shit. So,
Yep. And one last shout out, a mask guy, East Mass Fadeaway. Thank you very much for your support, brother. We appreciate you.
Thank you. So, can we repeat those names? I'm sorry. I will not interrupt. One more time. One more round.
No problem. Now you're playing Scotty tonight. It was my turn last night.
Exactly.
So we, of course, 6 or 420. Thank you, man, for all your help. Green Essentials. He's real active on the Discord. We appreciate him. We appreciate all you guys. But East Mass Fadeaway, thank you very much for your support. We really appreciate it. You guys are fucking awesome. The community guys we have over in Discord is fun. We have all sorts of shit going on over there. You can find the link in I think Captain has it on his thing, on his highlights reel. If for some reason you need it, just hit us up.
You can always message us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had trouble keeping it like as a permanent link that doesn't expire. Just message one of us. We'll get you in there. But it's a fun community, and you can also get like basically 24-hour help from either any one of us or some of the other great growers we have in there. I mean, they all know their shit. So come join the conversation. And yeah. What else? Oh yeah, merch. That too. Buy some merch. Cool stuff.
Yep.
And
big shout out to Mad Hatter. Always.
Thank you, Mad Hatter.
The best.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know, he's running this shit behind the scenes. He runs this shit. Thank you very much, brother. He's a great help. And he's also a mod in our Discord. He helps out with a lot of shit. He's literally like, he runs the shit. So thank you, Mad Hatter. You're a fucking solid dude. And we love you. And check out his YouTube channel. He's got some good content.
Yeah, he's got some dope videos,
man.
Yeah, I enjoy watching his videos.
Video. And just put up a new one. I gotta watch. But
and he was just on Chad Westport's show too.
I saw that.
Yeah, so check that out. Yeah.
He's a good guy, man. Good guy.
His recent video, he was pollinating the Freak Show cut, right?
I haven't caught that one.
Yeah.
The last one I watched, he was going over his garden outside. That's the last one I saw.
Oh, the tornado one. Okay.
Yeah. It's been a while.
No, he's everyone. Check out Joint on YouTube. Check out Mad Hatter on YouTube. Check me out on YouTube.
Yeah, Captain Autoflower. I even got a YouTube channel. I don't do shit with it though, but you can check me out on there. There's some videos up there.
Not me. I don't.
No?
I don't associate with those people.
What about do you want to link your OnlyFans?
No, that's invite only. You can go check out Barely Growing's YouTube channel. She's badass and awesome, and I love her to death. So her stuff is amazing.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys, please.
This was a long one, dude.
Yeah,
That's what
well,
she said.
I think it'll be
He's going to hell.
well received. And guys, don't get caught, please. Whatever you do, don't get caught. We'll talk to you in a few days. All right?
All right. Thanks, man.
Night, gang.
Bye.
Yeah. Peace.